Hello everyone, this is Heroes Trivia. Welcome back to Season 4 of our subscriber game tournament as we continue here with Round 1 action in Group D. And for our fourth match in the group, we have Storm's End in the green versus Sterling Inquisitor in the red. Now this is a match between two undefeated players in the group so far, as Storm's End have won both of his games, and Sterling Inquisitor has won his only match. So Storm's End has a chance to win the group outright with a 3-0 record here. This will be his final match, while Sterling Inquisitor can put his stamps on this group by winning this match and picking up 2 wins as well, and the head-to-head tiebreaker against Storm's End, essentially sealing himself at least a 3-way tie for first place, even if he loses his final match. Now looking at the compositions for Storm's End, he's brought the triple Immobilize comp. There's the Deadly Beauty ability on Diaochan, which freezes generals and units. There's the Dragon's Gaze ability on Lu Bu, which freezes just unit. And finally, Liu Zhang has the Ceasefire, which also freezes both generals and units. This is a very interesting comp. It relies on Lu Bu's power to basically kill off enemy generals that get frozen by either Diaochan's ability or Liu Zhang's ability. But in the case of Diaochan's ability, it's a very short window for you to take full advantage of it. And in terms of Liu Zhang's ability, he gives everyone 50% damage resistance, which makes them hard to kill. For units, we have a couple Protector of Heaven on Diaochan, very solid infantry, 1 archer to spread some fire arrows. Then we have a mix of the Flying Rider and cheap Raider Cav on Lu Bu. Finally rounding out the comp with some Dongzhou Bing on Liu Zhang. Then looking at Sterling Inquisitor, we have the double Yuan clan familial conflict build with Yuan Shao and Yuan Tan, and a good mix of their unique unit. We have plenty of Northern Spear Guard, including 2 veteran ones, 2 Ye Vanguard Spear Guards with the crossbow as their secondary weapon, and also 2 Ye Crossbowmen who are ranked up all the way to rank 9 for improved accuracy and firing speed. Then finally, there is Xu, who's making his first appearance in the tournament. Now he does have some interesting abilities that we'll talk about with the Hidden Strike that he has, which essentially is a poison ability, and then he's bringing in a trebuchet, so there's plenty of range on Sterling Inquisitor's side. He can dictate sort of the term of the battle, as he has the weapon with the longest range in the trebuchet, but he does have the pressure to protect it. Now fortunately, he's bringing a lot of spear unit, so he's well protected from the cavalry threat. We'll just see how they hold up against the generals. This is actually a very interesting matchup because I think the ceasefire tactic with Lu Bu is actually pretty bad into the Yuan Tan, Yuan Shao abilities because they have extremely fast attack rate. As long as they're dismounted, even if they get frozen, sending Lu Bu to them will probably actually get Lu Bu killed instead of the other way around. It will definitely take some good micro on both sides to pull off the right attacks with their general to win the fight, especially with Storm End having a one-time usage on Deadly Beauty from Diaochan. That has to pay off, or else the pick is not really worth it. Now, as we load into battle here, deployment's pretty standard on both sides. We got some pretty formations on both sides, actually. We got the cavalry on both flanks. We got some protectors in the rear, a front line of the Dongzhou Bing, and 1 lone archers with the 3 generals here for Storm's End. And then looking at Sterling Silver, not surprised, he's protecting his trebuchet with all sorts of spear unit. Northern Spear Guard across the board, a couple of square formation Ye Vanguard Spearmen because they got the crossbow they can shoot from all 4 directions. Although a little bit crowded, they should be probably put out a little bit farther, or else 2 sides really can't shoot much given there's units right next to them. And then we got the veterans in the front and a very tightly packed 2 Ye Vanguard Crossbowmen in between, and the 3 generals tightly packed. Now the ability here with the Hidden Strike, how this works is that once you activate it, you literally becomes invisible. It doesn't say it here, but it grants you stock, and then you basically walk up and hit something and it sort of poisons them with this effect. It's a pretty good ability. You can use this on units as well. It's decent. It's active for the entire 30 seconds, so you can actually go hit different unit and poison all of them. So Jiaxu is not a bad pick. Let's see how this one plays out, because we do have the trebuchet. We'll see if they want to move or they want to start hitting. Okay, so we have some shifts. Sterling is definitely going to be holding all the cards in terms of initiatives. Like, depending on how he set up his crossbows and how he set up his trebuchets, he's going to have to force the response on Storm's End, who has to basically answer if the trebuchets start hitting. You can't just sit there and let them hit you. Unless you want to bait out some auto fire with generals. That would be kind of cute. Because there's 20 ammo, it's a decent amount. But if you're patient, you know, get your generals in, force them to turn off auto fire, and then you're basically forcing the enemy to micro a bit more. Oh, not fire. Okay, no, not flammable shot, but just the regular shot. And that was definitely auto fire, trying to hit the generals as they enter the range. I'm surprised he's going with the regular shot when they're going through the forest, because you can definitely layer some burn damage on there. Yeah, they're moving up because vision's kind of obscured. The units in front of them is too close in my opinion. This square needs to be a little bit roomier. You're never going to be tight enough to protect you from getting, you know, basically having generals come through. So you might as well make it a little bit looser, because cavalry can't slip through. Even if you create a little gap here, the cavalry can't slip through that gap. So you give your units just more room to breathe. Going in multiple directions is definitely a good idea. That's how you beat trebuchets. Looks like they're still auto-firing, right? They're targeting cavalry. Ah, we have flaming shot, but why not target the infantry? Manual fire is the way to go here. The crossbows are activating. Bad target. He also used range block chance. Microing range is also art in multiplayer, because you don't want to waste your ammo like this, but it's difficult to control everything. There we go. Now we got some manual fire. And then you gotta like keep moving your manual fires around unless you selected one of these units. Yeah, none of the cavalry are any threat. I think in this case, he's baiting the ceasefire. He should have stopped moving after using the ability, because it's only front facing. If you move, you actually open yourself up to getting shot. You can see he lost 4k health. Just a little damage, but the key is forcing them to move towards you. Well, that's a good one. That's a good hit. So far, maybe 30, 40 kills? 27? Yep, that sounds about right. Well, the cavalry can't do anything here. Fire arrows, we can ignore that. You can trade fire. Oh, range block chance on top of that. That's actually very convenient. Only Yuan has it. Yuan Shao has distant courage, so he's not going to have that. There's no need to get scared, just shoot them back. I mean, it is a shielded spear unit, but still. Well, the trebuchet is doing wonders. This is actually a really good place. They need to be spread out more. Look at this target and this target. The overlap is insane. Yeah, that's great value. People's trying to come in here and do some slam ability, hidden strike getting activated. Gonna get a little poison tap on him. He missed so far. I mean, just have these two generals dismounted would scare anyone from approaching. He's trying to take off the trebuchets with fire arrows. This is a good target. Hit this. Don't hit this. Hit this. The targeting on the trebuchet could use some work. This is higher value right here. The crossbows are turning around to hit some of the raider cap. Well, that's suicide. A little late on the formation change, but still. You're gonna be just fine. Okay, we got the dismounted Yuan, which basically shuts down the ceasefire tactic. I mean, it's called Heavenly Grace. Yeah, I thought it's called Deadly Beauty, but her what was it called? Her title was called Deadly Beauty in the game. But this ability gives you the immobile. Ooh, we got the ceasefire active, but they lock Lu Bu with the ceasefire. What are they trying to do? Use cavalry to kill the general with 50%. I mean, these units can move towards that. How many are ceasefired? They're not. This one can move. They can easily go assist. I guess they're worried about getting charged by cavalry. I mean, at this point, Trebuchet has killed 150. Weeble is basically getting hit by Hidden Strike and also just getting hit by a dismounted general. Gotta respect this. Dismounted generals have really fast attack speed. Doesn't matter they're strategists, they're holding a gold weapon in multiplayer. I'm surprised Yuan is not joining in. He's just trying to give distant courage, it seems. Yuan stuck in a lot of match combat. Well, not technically not match combat, but he's in combat with a lot of cavalry. Alright, they finally decided to hit him. Yuan okay, they're moving the formation because there's no more cavalry threat. Should have done that a little bit earlier. Yuan could have used the help. See, losing Yuan shuts down the ability. I don't think it was worth it. They should have just both committed. No one's really threatening to be routed at this point, so distant courage is just not a priority. There's still 2 protectors in reserve, so they could still show up. They're trying to throw the spear to disrupt him so that he can potentially bounce back, but I think it's too late. I don't know why Yuan is just not doing something. We got a kite. I don't know if the kite is a good idea. Okay, Trebuchet is officially destroyed. Weeble only has 800 health. Let's see if they can pull a micro switch here. Just tap a couple damage on him. Nope, not fast enough. Throwing the Vanguard at the Protectors. Not going to be a good trade for them. They're trying to tap these Protectors as best as they can. This is too clumped together. They're trying to do some flanking, but one of these units needs to come out. They finished off Jashu. Right, he's trying to stabilize everyone. Good ability usage. The flank. Trying to avoid the flank. Interesting move by Storm's End here. Okay, they peeled one unit. This one might not be a good peel, because now he actually opens himself to a couple flanks. And half the unit's still shooting. Yeah, this is a bad engage. But we'll see if Weeble can carry this back with only 800 health. He's trying to maximize his value, but I think it's super risky. And this cavalry is getting picked off just by the crossbows, who are just too clumped to shoot. You can see most of them can't shoot because they're blocked. You can't put them overlap and hope they work. We're going to get another ceasefire ability usage. Feels like that's what he wants to do. Okay, we got Weeble's gaze, but Weeble died. They finally peeled one back to flank. Right now, I mean, distant courage is going to ensure that even if you're slightly lower quality, you're going to fight till the end much faster, much longer than them, and then they're just not going to be able to sustain these fights for a long time. Someone has to just try to hit Yuan Shao, even if it's Deltran. Yeah, someone has to start chasing him around. The unit's gonna try to slow them down, but it'd be better if they're in formation and you go through them. Ooh. Interesting ceasefire timing. Everyone's dismounting. Now you can't really, you can't really move. So they're just basically on timeout. Everyone else is fighting. And this favors the distant courage because he's technically not in combat. And he's boosting everyone. All these infantry have been killed. There was only one cavalry fighting over here, so that was over. Basically, this is army loss. That's why she routed, because the unit's routed. Now we just have an unbreakable general. And surrender. Very good match. So we have... we don't know the groups yet, because Storm's End did not end the group with 3-0. Sterling Inquisitor has pulled ahead temporarily with a 2-0 record for himself. he still has one more match. If he wins that one, he would auto win the group, or else we'll have a 3-way tie for first place. And then we don't technically need to break that tie, because if you are third place with a 2-1 record, you are going to advance because you're guaranteed to be a top 4 third place finisher. So we'll have just to basically wait for Sterling Inquisitor's next match to find out how this group's going to shape up. But this was a very good match. The Trebuchet definitely paid off, had great value. I think could have been a little bit better micro. The general usage was a little bit subpar. I don't think Yuan-Tai and Yuan-Shao really, carried the way with their familial conflict. I think it was still way too much distant courage. If that was going to be the play, maybe Yuan-Tai shouldn't be the pick. They should be together on the foot and then just group together to fight. Because that way you basically shut down any ceasefire or Heavenly Grace. I think that's the ability name, not Deadly Beauty. And that way, basically, Lu Bu can't do too much. I mean, Lu Bu paid with a lot of health to dish the damage he did. He underestimated Jiasu's damage with Hidden Strike and just basic attacks on foot against someone on horse. That's really what killed off Lu Bu. Even though he didn't die right away, but when you're at 800 health, you're not going to be doing too much. The cavalry couldn't find a target. A lot of the crossbow scored a bunch of kills on them, which was very good. I think a little bit more patience and spacing, forcing that formation to get messed up, engaging with the infantry to force them up, and then charging with the cavalry on those exposed unit afterward probably be better. I think too much units were lost approaching the trebuchet. Maybe there wasn't any better way, but I think with the 3 generals and the ceasefire, there was no cavalry on Sterling Inquisitor. What I think I would have done is I would have used the 3 generals. I would have just charged in and started killing the trebuchet with the generals. If they dismount, I will just back up and I'll rinse and repeat until I find an opening to get the kill. If their generals chase me, then what I would do is I'll pull them out. If they get a little bit farther out, I would use the ceasefire to basically shut them down, put them on timeouts. And then as long as the trebuchet is killed, the infantry can sort of engage, force their infantry to move up, and then the cavalry can look for their openings at that time. It's still very difficult to pull off, easier said than done, just saying the strategy. You have to execute, under pressure in real time, which is very difficult, but very good match. It's nice to see siege weapons come back. I think trebuchets are actually very viable. I actually think juggernauts are also very viable, but we haven't seen any players use them. We'll see, maybe that will change as the tournament moves forward. So hope you guys enjoy this one, and we'll see you next one. Until then, bye!